Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my top everyday signature fragrances. If you guys have watched my series of my top 5 for life, I've been doing 5 fragrances each season leading up to my top 10 for life. And then in my winter video, I said I was going to do my top 5 signature fragrances. This is going to be a top 10. The reason being, I pretty much had my 5 already set. I've had new fragrances come into my collection that I have been going back and forth with. Now, none of the fragrances smell the same, but when I was doing my top 5, I tend to pick like a freshie. I tend to pick like a work scent. So I do like to have a certain category, especially when I'm limiting myself. So this video will be set up a little bit different, where I'll give you guys a category and I'll show you both of them, and then I'll let you guys know which one ended up being my pick, and then at the end I'll just quickly show you the top 5. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so the first category we're gonna go into, and this video is gonna be more relaxed, we're not gonna go over any notes. The first category is kind of like my work category. When I think of a signature scent, I think of a working woman, and these are the two that I kept going back and forth with. Now, the first one I'm going to show you is the one in my winter collection that kind of opened up this category, but I don't even know if it's going to make it even this time. And that is Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. And I have loved this fragrance since my early 20s. So for almost 2 decades now, just almost as long as this one has been around. I want to say it came out when I was 21. But this is a timeless classic. But recently, and again, this one doesn't smell anything like this fragrance, but it gives me, again, signature scent working woman vibes. That is Raja Parfums 51. This one is more of a kind of slightly sweet, classy, floral scent. But when I sprayed these, I was like, okay, if right now my collection disappeared, which of these two would I run out and get right away? And of course, if money was an issue, it'd be this one, because this one is more affordable. And I did purchase this one, but this one is very expensive. But this is the one I picked. I have been wearing this one lately for the past month to work. It's a more modern, classy woman. This one's more timeless. It's a classic. This one's classy but modern, so not a classic. They don't smell anything alike, nothing. They're both white florals, but this one needs more patchouli, a little bit more citrus. This one does have something juicy. I don't know if it's this one or Enigma that has peach. They might both have it, but there is something bright and juicy in this one. But this one has a lot of notes. It's very well blended, but this is the one that won. And again, that's Raja Parfums 51, and this is my everyday kind of working fragrance. Okay, then next, I knew I wanted a rosy fragrance. I don't know that I've had a rosy category, but in my everyday signature scent, I would want a rosy fragrance. Kind of also fell into like an everyday fragrance, because to me, the Raja and the Coco Mademoiselle, that one's either going to work or maybe going to an event. It's a little bit more, I gotta dress up. These next two I'm going to talk about are definitely more everyday, kind of, I'm just going to go to brunch. Maybe I'm going to go run errands, or I'm just going to work from home and I want to smell fresh and clean. So we have Perfumes Suzhou from the Armani Privé collection, and Lancome's Idole. And Lancome Idole was actually in my list already. But when I was looking through my rosy fragrances, I did think that this one was a beautiful one to include in my top 10. But in the end, I did go for Lancome Idole. Again, if both of these fragrances were no longer in my collection, I already know that I would run out and pick up Lancome Idole over and over again. It's one that I plan on picking up a backup bottle very soon. This is more of a fresh, musky rose scent. It opens up with that sparkly pear, so it's got a fruity top. Yeah, but it's more musky and it's more of a fresh rose. And then Perfumes Suzhou, this is more of a kind of clean fresh. I don't want you to think like soapy, even though there is something slightly soapy, but it's more clean. and soft, more in your bubble, more intimate. And the rose in here is more pink, and I do pick up the peony. So this is more of a kind of peony rose scent. Both really beautiful. This one's still in my top 10, but this one would be in my top 5 for my everyday fragrance. And again, I wanted something everyday, something rosy. I'm really loving rose fragrances. And again, these two don't smell the same, but they kind of give me that same vibe. Okay, then we have my kind of fresh category. Now, usually it's kind of citrusy fresh scent, and while both of these are, I would say they have citrus, one is a little more citrus forward and the other one's more fresh and woody to my nose. So the fragrance I already knew was going to be in my list, and it was in my top 5, was Byredo's Bal d'Afrique. And then recently I did pick up Valea from Parfums de Mali. And again, these two don't smell anything alike, but I like to have that kind of fresh, musky fragrance. So this one to me is a little bit more citrus forward. Let's just spray a little bit. This one has that kind of white floral, that orange blossom. This one has more of a citrus freshness to it. It's sophisticated and chic. Both of these are chic. This one I always say is more of a casual chic. Yeah, like I almost envision someone in maybe a white button down with jeans and some Sperry's. This is more contemporary in my opinion, and this one's more sophisticated. This one's gonna be more fresh. It's got citrus in it, but I pick up the vetiver. This is a very vetiver forward scent to my nose. At least that's what I pick up a lot of when I smell this fragrance. Both of these are when you want to feel clean and put together. These are nice fragrances, but I actually went with Valea just because I really love that citrus that's in here. It's just unlike any I have. Where this one's more of a white t-shirt and jeans, this is more of a white dress and some nice like sandals. This I would say is probably, out of all the ones I'm going to talk about, the closest it came. And if both of these were no longer in my collection, I would run out and get Valea, but I would probably get this one a few days later. But I would probably get a 50 ml of this one and I'd be happy with this 100 ml bottle. So it's one that I wear more. This was, again, probably the hardest decision I had to make. But again, they both made in my top 10, but this one is in my top 5. Okay, this category is super weird. This is kind of like my dentist category. These are fragrances, well, one fragrance I absolutely love. But I like to have a fragrance that I adore and that he loves. So the fragrance I already knew was going to be in this category was Alien by Mugler. Every time I wear this fragrance, when I want to get Dennis's attention, when I want him to say that I smell good, when I want him to point something out, I just wear this fragrance and he will always mention it. Recently, I've worn this one a couple times and he's mentioned it as well, and it's one that I absolutely love. This is Prada Paradox. This one gets attention from both men and women, just like Alien does. This I just honestly put in here. They're nothing alike. I needed a 10th perfume, but this one still won. I just needed that one fragrance that just turns his head. While this one turns heads, this one certainly turns his head. So I kind of knew this was gonna make it. But this is your clean, soapy, woody fragrance. This has a clean jasmine to my nose. I know some people get more of an indolic jasmine. Even though I've tested the old one, because I had a lovely subscriber send me a sample, Jeanette, I still got a clean jasmine. It was richer and it was a little bit more like warm from the amber in the older one that I tried, but this one won. And again, that's Alien by Mugler. Okay, and then you guys know I needed a fruity floral category. And this was probably my second hardest. So I knew I was gonna have YSL's Mon Petit. But if you have been watching my channel, you know that quickly Magnolia Bliss by Julia Has a Gun has just been, oh my goodness. Every time I smell this fragrance, my mouth waters. I get that mouth watering where my lips want to pucker. These two don't smell the same. This is more of an intoxicating black currant, fruity floral. This is more of a zingy ginger. Yeah. This one I get more tart, more mouth watering. And I get the magnolia in here. This one, yeah, these two don't smell anything alike. But I knew I wanted a fruity floral, and this was going to be the one I was going to pick. But this is a perfect example of a new fragrance entering your collection and messing with your top 10 for life. Because if both of these fragrances were to leave my collection right now, this is the one I'm going to run out and grab immediately. I just love this fragrance. And again, that is Juliet Has a Gun Magnolia Bliss. Okay, so I know that was super fast, so I'm just going to go over really quick the top 5. So we have in my classy working girl category, we have Raja Parfums 51. Then in my everyday rosy category, we have Lancome's Idole. And then in my man eater category, what I wear for my man, we have Alien. Then for my freshy category, freshy, but that doesn't sound sophisticated, but this is your fresh, sophisticated kind of scent. We have Valea by Parfum de Mali. And then in my fruity category, we have Magnolia Bliss by Juliet Has a Gun. So those are my top 10 signature fragrances with my top 5 for life. Let me know, would you guys have done something different? Do you have any of these fragrances? What are your thoughts on them? But that will do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.